Good morning. It's early, it's a dark, gloomy morning this morning, and it is also the 1st of October. What more could we really ask for? And I've actually got both of the dogs here with me. Poppy's by my feet. And this morning I was just standing in the field with the 2 dogs running around in my pyjamas with a big coat zipped up and my wellies on. And it's misty and I can hear all the birds, and it's first thing in the morning, and I've literally, the dogs don't even go on lead, so I just walk out my front door, walk to the end of my drive, and then there's just fields. It's just a really nice moment of just feeling really appreciative and grateful for where I am right now. Sometimes I'm always thinking about, I think it's very human to always be thinking about what's next. I think that's kind of how we, keep the momentum and get out of bed every day. It's really healthy to have something to strive for, but I think sometimes it is really important just to acknowledge where we are now and just be really grateful for what we have now. But anyway, that was a massive tangent. My favourite farm shop's actually just opened their pumpkin patch for the season, and they've got a cafe there. They do pumpkin spice lattes, and it's all very, very October Halloweeny. And I want to get some pumpkins to decorate my front door because my friend's coming this weekend, and I just thought it would be quite fun. And then also, when it actually is Halloween at the end of the month, there are lots of children and families that live in my village, so I just thought it's quite fun for all of that. So we're going to go there, get loads of pumpkins, and then we'll do a little mini sort of decorate my porch for October type thing a bit later today as well. Going to do some baking, going to do some cooking, all pumpkin related. I just thought, you know what, if there's ever a time to really embrace all things like pumpkin and all of that sort of thing, the 1st of October is the day. We'll do the farm shop, we'll do the pumpkin patch, we'll do the decorating, baking, cooking, we'll take the dogs out at some point, and then I've just got a few bits around the house that I want to show you as well. You're just spending my day off with me, so I hope you don't mind. It's just going to be a very normal, chilled day at home today. I think nothing quite says I'm having a cozy day at home like baking first thing in the morning. Pyjamas still on. These pyjamas will be staying on for as long as I can possibly justify today. They're such gorgeous pyjamas actually. I'm really hesitant to walk backwards because I've got the biggest, really the biggest pants you've ever seen. So I'm slightly embarrassed and slightly concerned you might see them. We're all friends here, so I will show you very quickly. These are the pyjamas. They're so gorgeous. They are the most gorgeous pyjamas. Look how beautiful the print is, and the detail around the cuff, they're just absolutely beautiful and so stretchy and so comfortable and just the best. Let me tell you, the box arrived to my front door. I opened it, took the pyjamas out, put them on, and they've not been off my body since. They are the comfiest things. But my point was, there is nothing quite says cozy like baking when you're still in your pyjamas. You've got your morning coffee, you're baking something yummy, the whole house smells like baking. That is my idea of a good way to start the day. And I'm actually going to attempt to make pumpkin, a pumpkin loaf. Pumpkin bread, is that what you call it? Banana bread, but pumpkin bread, which I don't think I've ever made before. I don't even know if I've ever tried pumpkin loaf, so I'm very intrigued to see what it's like. So that's what we're going to make this morning. Let me show you what goes into it. So this is what we need. As always, I'm sort of loosely following a recipe, but also just changing things in terms of what I've got and what I think will be nice. We've got plain flour, we've got walnuts, I just thought they might be a nice addition. Raisins, again, optional, but I think they'll be really good in it. Coconut sugar, this is what the recipe said, but I've actually only got a tiny bit left. So I'm going to supplement that with, supplement that with some maple syrup just to sweeten it. Olive oil, probably melted coconut oil would be better, but I just feel lazy and I don't want to do the melting bit. Bicarb of soda, is that the bicarb? Yeah, bicarb of soda, baking powder, nutmeg, cinnamon, almond milk, and then I'm going to make a bit of a, an icing sort of thing out of coconut yogurt and maple syrup whipped together, and that's everything that I think we need. Big mixing bowl. Oh, and also I found these in the cupboard, so we might decorate it. We'll see how we go. So I'm mixing together all of the dry ingredients first. So 250 grams of plain flour. This should be 200 grams of coconut sugar, but I have got 25 grams, so I'm going to need a lot of maple syrup. 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of bicarb, about half a teaspoon of nutmeg, a teaspoon of cinnamon, or maybe a tiny bit more because I love cinnamon. And then I'm going to transfer all of that into this bowl. Mix this. Pumpkin puree. That's about 400 grams. 4 tablespoons of almond milk. 3, 4. 3 tablespoons of olive oil or coconut oil. I'm going to do a tiny bit less just because I have to put maple syrup in and I don't want it to end up being too wet. So I'm going to add 1, 2, 3 of maple syrup and just see, I'll just taste and see how sweet that ends up being. So I'm going to mix this. And now I'm going to add this into here. Okay, so now I'm going to add in some raisins, just doing this by eye really, and I'm going to crunch up some walnut pieces, whenever I have banana bread or any kind of loaf, it's always the chocolate chips or the walnuts or the raisins or whatever that are the best bits, so I go quite heavy-handed with these. Oh, I need to preheat the oven. Okay. I've never made this before, so texture-wise, I don't really know what we should be aiming for at this stage. So we're just going to go with it and hopefully it turns out good. But it's a bit of an experiment. When is it not a bit of an experiment in my kitchen, honestly? It feels like there's a lot of mix here. Well, it tastes good at this point. Yum. Okay, so this now needs to go in the oven for about 45 minutes, which is quite a long time, I feel like. Banana bread doesn't take that long, I don't think. But yeah, about 45 minutes, and then we can do the icing. I'm actually just going to quickly mix up the icing now, and then I can put it into the fridge. So, just a couple of big heap spoons, a little bit more of coconut yogurt, and then some maple syrup for sweetness. That is so delicious. So I'm just going to pop that in the fridge. Okay, it's out of the oven. I've actually been letting it cool just for a little bit so that we can do the icing. So I'm going to pop it onto a plate. Okay, so I might need to make more of this. Let's put a little bit of, I mean it's not icing at all, is it? But it gives the same effect. Is this gonna look cute or not really? Does that look cute or no? Kinda, in a rustic homemade way. Just doing a really light sprinkling. Cute! Okay, here she is. Looks okay, you know, looks quite good. It smells very, like, Christmassy. That is so much nicer than I thought it was going to be. That's delicious. Oh my god, that's so good. Definitely do the icing too. If you're wondering what level of chilled we are today, that pumpkin bread was in the oven for the best part of an hour and we're still not dressed. We're still not dressed, are we, girl? Honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. It's still dark and gloomy outside. Let's talk about the pumpkin bread because I'm not joking. This is now my second slice. It's so good. I don't know why, but I was kind of skeptical of how good a pumpkin loaf could be, but I was wrong. This is so good and now will become like a regular thing. I'm definitely making this multiple times throughout October. It kind of feels wrong to eat it in any other, maybe September, October, but imagine eating a pumpkin loaf in like March. That doesn't sit well with me. But I'm quite confident about this recipe, so I will actually put the recipe and the measurements in my description, because I think we've kind of nailed it this time. But I would definitely say do the raisins if you like raisins, they're so good. Do the walnuts and do the icing, because that really makes it. I'm just gonna have one more quick bite. It's so good. I also really need to stop drinking that coffee because it's my second one of the day and I'm starting to feel a bit, you know, and you can tell you've had a little bit too much coffee. Anyway, I'm gonna sit and read. Hope I don't have raisins in my teeth, but I'm going to sit and read for a bit. And I just thought, while it's still gloomy outside, because the forecast is still saying the sun's coming out, so we're holding out for that, and basically just to prolong how long I can stay in my pyjamas, I thought we would do our autumn book of the week now this morning, because like I said, I'm going to sit and read for a bit anyway. I'm still on The Secret History, still absolutely loving this book. I mean, it took a bit of a different path to the one that I was expecting, but the writing is just so good. I really couldn't recommend this book more. And what I will say is, from talking about this book last week, is that when we talked about this book? Whenever I talked about this book, the feedback from all of you has also been that it's one of your favourite books of all time, so strongly recommend this one. But anyway, we've talked about that book so much. This week's book of the week is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, which is another classic. I've seen it described as sort of like gothic. It's also set in the Victorian era, which is one of my absolute favourite sort of periods of time. I love any films, any TV shows set in that time. It was always at school whenever we would do, that was my absolute favourite point in history to study when I was at school. And okay, so the back of the book says, Oscar Wilde's alluring novel of decadence and sin. It follows Dorian Gray, who, enthralled by his own exquisite portrait, exchanges his soul for eternal youth and beauty. Influenced by his friend Lord Henry Wotton, he's drawn into a corrupt double life, indulging his desires in secret while remaining a gentleman in the eyes of polite society. Only his portrait bears the traces of his depravity. The thing is, you just always know when it's a classic that it's so well loved and so well known and so well reviewed that you know it's going to be a good read. So I feel like it's always a pretty safe bet. So that's my autumn book of the week this week. I feel like it's a good October read as well. So as always, if you've read it, then let me know. But I'm going to sit here, I'm going to read my book. I'm probably going to eat about 4 more slices of pumpkin bread. And then when the sun finally comes out, we will head over to the pumpkin patch. Okay, we're dressed and ready for the pumpkin patch. The dogs are barking at something, but we're just going to try and ignore that. Mum's going to come over actually, because obviously I've got Poppy, so she's going to get Poppy back. And then when would Mum ever say no to a trip to the farm shop and like a coffee and a cake? I just thought we could have a quick chat about jewellery, because I feel like a lot of my jewellery I wear every day is kind of like vintage or has been handed down. One of the rings I've got, for example, is my mum's original wedding band. When I say original, it's still with my dad. Like, my mum and dad have only ever, do you know they've only ever really been with each other? My parents have been together since they were 18, which is so special, isn't it? I realise how lucky I am to have grown up in a family with that much love. But my point is, my mum wears a different wedding band now, so I wear my mum's old wedding band, and then some of my jewellery is vintage, some of it was handmade just for me, so a lot of the time I feel like I just can't be that helpful when it comes to jewellery. But I've got a few new pieces that I want to show you, including possibly the most me necklace I've ever seen, which is this fish necklace, which is actually from this gorgeous luxury jewellery brand called Hefang, who I'm actually working with on this part of the video. So Hefang was founded in 2012 by the designer Sun Hefang, and it's kind of all about this playful sophistication, timeless elegance, and really has this big sort of storytelling piece to the brand. The pieces are very unique, which I love, but what I think they do so well is they make really unique, fun, playful pieces, but they make them so wearable. They're the sort of pieces that will really elevate an outfit, but if you look closely at them, they also have this fun, playful element, which I think is just so fun. So I thought I'd show you a few of my favourite pieces, starting, of course, with this gorgeous fish necklace. So I've just zoomed you in really close so that you can see the detail. It's these two little fish swimming. I love that it's gold but also has this sparkle element to it. You see what I mean about from a distance it just looks like a really beautiful piece of jewellery, but then up close you can see that it's fish, which I just think is very, very me. And there are also these really fun matching fish studs. I'm also wearing the gorgeous Gleam ring today. You've probably seen this because I've been wearing this a lot. I love that it's almost giving a two-tone effect with the sparkles and the gold, and I love wearing gold and silver together. Another collection that I love is this anchor collection. I think these two necklaces look so beautiful layered together. So I'm wearing the mini anchor, which is in gold, with this little sparkle detail. Is that not just the most dainty little necklace? It's so sweet. And then this one is called the sparkle anchor, and it's in this kind of almost pearl effect, which I think is really beautiful and ties in quite well with my t-shirt today. And I also have on the matching bracelet, which is just like the mini anchor, so it's this really beautiful, dainty little bracelet. I feel like if you like to be a little bit playful with your jewellery but also want it to have this timeless, really wearable feel to it, then I think you'll really like the brand Hefang. So what I'll do is I will put links in my description of all of the pieces that I've just shown you, but I'll also just pop a link to the overall website so that you can have a good browse through the different collections. And I also do have a little bit of a discount code for you, which I will pop in the description box. So hopefully Mum's nearly here and we can head out to the pumpkin patch. Okay, I have approximately 700 pumpkins in my boot. That's what it feels like anyway. It's probably not, it might not even be 15, but I feel like I've got a lot of pumpkins. I will admit to you though, I got a couple from the pumpkin patch because we want to support our local businesses, we want to support the pumpkin patch, but I did also go to Tesco on the way home and pick up a couple more. So we have quite a few pumpkins in the boot. And this just arrived. I actually ordered this yesterday from Amazon because it was kind of a last minute thought. I have some really beautiful natural wreaths from last year that I thought if I just packaged up well and kept them safe that they would do again this autumn, but they've gone mouldy, which maybe that was obvious, but I didn't realise. So I've obviously had to get rid of them. So yesterday I thought, let's just have a quick look on Amazon. And this came up and I wasn't expecting much, but it's actually not too bad. It doesn't look, it's not sort of, you know, some of them can be quite garish and quite over the top and quite obviously very sort of plasticky, but this is not too bad. We'll see how it looks when it goes on the front door. But yeah, it's just from Amazon, so I can link it. I'm really quite pleased with it actually. It's turned out a lot better than I was expecting. So I'm going to go and cart the 500 pumpkins that I've got out of my boot, and then we can start decorating the front door. I was just making up the guest bed because Ella's coming to stay for the weekend. I'm going to vlog all weekend as well actually, so that's going to be really fun. And I remembered I wanted to change my own bed and show you my new bed sheets that I got from Piglet. So we've got the full works. I've got a new fitted sheet, I've got a new duvet cover, I've got new pillowcases, and I've also gone for, which I've never had before, I want to call it a valance. Valance sounds ridiculous. It cannot be called a valance. You know, valance is criminal. It cannot be called that. So I think it's called a valance. You know, like the kind of frilly bit that goes around the bottom of your bed? Got one of those, which I've never had. I just thought it's quite like cottagey, and I don't know, let's just see how it goes. But I went for this print. I've also mixed and matched a bit because I don't know if you saw the vlog where we went into the Piglet shop. They had kind of mixed and matched different colours, different patterns, different textures, and it looked so good. It just looked so cozy and so nice. I thought I would dip my toe in with doing that, and when I say dip my toe in, all I actually ended up getting was one set of my pillows are a different print. They're this gingham print. It's 100% linen, all of it, which is so gorgeous. Actually, this is such a tangent, but just looking at Rua's reminded me that I have seen recently just a couple of comments about when I very first moved into this house. I think I even cried actually, like, well, there was definitely teary eyes when I was talking to you about the fact that when we first moved, Rue was having a bit of a hard time settling in to this house. And because she'd spent so much time with my parents at their house while I was moving, and then because this also was a completely unfamiliar kind of environment to her, there was a period of time where, which was really sad, and I can see why it made me upset, but basically whenever she would come here, she would just really not seem herself and basically just want to be going back to my parents' house, which made me feel, because obviously she's mine and I love her so much, it made me feel really sad because it felt like she didn't, although I know it's ridiculous and it was never about this, it made me feel like she didn't want to be with me, she wanted to be with my parents. So I'd kind of said that to you at the time and just said how it was making me feel, and then just said, like, you know, had any of you had similar experiences? And at the time, I had so many lovely messages and so many lovely comments just saying that you've had really similar things and that Rue just needs a bit of time to adjust to being in a new house and all of that sort of thing, which was really helpful and really made me feel better about it all. I mean, it seems kind of silly, but I also I feel for that version of me, because I was also in a completely new house. I was living on my own for the first time in 4 years, and then when my dog seemed like she didn't even want to be with me, I feel for myself, even though it's a small silly thing. And would you believe it's been almost a year that I've lived in this house? Like, that's how much time has flown by, which is crazy. Obviously she's completely used to the house now. We both have our routines. She has such a little routine, and actually what's really sweet is that I feel like Rue and I are actually closer and we've got more of a bond than ever recently, and I think it's maybe because it's just us two that are in the house, but we are so bonded. Like, I've always been bonded from the day I bought that dog home. Actually, from the first day I ever met Rue, I just knew she was my dog. I loved her so much. But anyway, I feel like she's really bonded to me and that I'm really her person, because now, even when we go to my parents' house, she does this really sweet thing, which is whenever I stand up and, like, I might just go to make a cup of tea or something, she gets up and follows me and, like, is looking up at me, kind of being like, are we going home, mum? Or where are we going? Or whatever you're doing, mum, I'm doing it with you. So yeah, I mean, you can see she's like my little shadow. She's always everywhere that I am. And now, because Rue and I have got such a strong bond and she's so happy and so comfortable that this is her house, we also have a really good situation with the fact that whenever I'm really busy with work or whenever I have to go somewhere for the day, she loves going to my parents' house and just like has a really fun day there with them. And then when I go and pick her up at the end of the day or the next day or whatever it is, she's always so happy coming home with me. So it's all really good. And I wanted to say that because some of the messages I've had from you are kind of saying that you're in a similar situation and how did it work out? It's just time. And I know you all told me that, so thank you, because that was very reassuring at the time, but it was just a time thing. She just needed to get used to her new house and her new surroundings and all of that sort of thing. Anyway, I thought I'm going to put this on now, which I'll do with you, and then we can see what it looks like. How can I possibly move her to make the bed? Oh, I'm sorry, darling. Mummy has to make the bed. You are so cute. Why don't you go downstairs and see Poppy? Yeah, that's your favourite word, isn't it? It's your favourite person or dog in the whole world, Poppy? Yeah, that's a good word, isn't it? That's a good word. Aww. I love you. Okay, I'll change the bed when you wake up. Yeah, I'll leave you to have your nap. She's so cosy and cuddly and warm, I can't move her. She'll probably get up when I go downstairs anyway. This is the most helpful thing I've ever seen. You know, my mum only taught me the other day that you kind of like button them backwards to hide the button. I've been doing that wrong my entire life. I'll tell you a good pillow hack, other than obviously doing the pillowcase inside out. I have Super King pillows, but I get standard size pillowcases and it just makes them really full. So cozy. I've honestly spent more time in my pyjamas than out of them today, and I'm not sorry about it because that is a sign you've really truly embraced a day at home. I've needed a day just, yeah, chilled, not too much going on, not too much driving. One thing I will say about living in the countryside is that I had forgotten just how much driving is involved, because obviously here you can't really walk anywhere. There's no public transport, like that's just not a thing. So it's a lot of driving. So it's quite nice just to have nowhere to be sometimes and to just not feel guilty for being in my pyjamas, for watching TV in the day, reading in the day, for like having all my candles lit, baking, cooking, just really truly like allowing myself to just do nothing and not feel guilty about it. Because you know what I am? I always say this to my mum. I probably actually said this to you before, but I am like the queen of stressful resting. Like there's a lot of time in the week where I appear to be resting, like I'll be watching TV or I'll be, I don't know, just doing what looks like not much, but in my head I'm actually just going over all the things that I should be doing and yeah, just basically giving myself a bit of a hard time. So that's probably something I really need to work on, because I always like whenever I take a day off I don't necessarily end up feeling that well rested, and I think it's a result of, I don't know, spending the whole day appearing to be resting but basically saying to myself, you've got this to do, you've got that to do, you need to do this, and like doing to-do lists. Like my idea of a day off involves creating to-do lists and planning, and yeah, I guess, anyway, whatever. My point being, today's been really nice. I feel like, yeah, it's just been really nice. But it might have been really boring for you, so I'm really sorry if that is the case. This is what I'm really doing today, so I thought I'd just hang out with you for the day, so I hope you haven't minded. But anyway, I'm making dinner now, and I think I said this morning, but we are of course making pumpkin pasta, because what else would we in fact make on the 1st of October? And I had pumpkin puree left over from this morning from the baking, so I thought let's just do the recipe tonight. Let's just try it. Again, have I had pumpkin pasta before? Like, you might actually remember better than me. I feel like it's something I would have made before, but I also can't remember making it or even trying it. Also, for some reason I can't get my head around the fact that it won't be sweet. I think because all of the pumpkin things that I eat and drink are always sweet, I've associated pumpkin, which is actually a vegetable, with being sweet, so it's just not the case. But I keep thinking about dinner and thinking, isn't that going to be really weird because it'll be sweet? But it's not going to be sweet, and hopefully it's going to be really good. So I'm going to attempt to make pumpkin pasta. I actually bought, this is a bit of a treat because I don't normally buy anything like this, but I bought some kind of like plant-based little bacon pieces because I just thought that would be really yummy in this, and it would make it a nice treat. So let me show you everything that's going to go into it. Okay, so pasta, and then obviously we need our pumpkin puree. Turns out this is pretty impossible to find in a can in the UK. Some places do sell it, Waitrose sells it actually in some of their stores, but you can obviously also make your own. You can just roast a pumpkin, scoop out the inside, put it through a blender or whatever, and then you'll have your own pumpkin puree. So if you can't find it, you could also do that. Then I've got some spinach I'm going to put in, some broccoli to put on the side, onion, garlic. This I thought we would just try. It's little plant-based bacon pieces, and I've got tomato puree, I've got some plant-based parmesan, got some soy milk, and then just a little bit of stock. I don't know if I need more or less than this, but I had this in the fridge, so I'll either make more or this might be enough. But oh yeah, sorry, on the pumpkin puree, this is way more than we need. We probably need a quarter, maybe a third of that, but it's just what I had. So I am going to chop up my onion, chop up my garlic. Actually, while I'm doing that, I'll also cook the pasta, and I think this is a one pot. Can we do it in one pot? Yeah, I think we can do a one pot situation with this, which is always my favourite, as we know. Okay, pasta in. Little pinch of salt. Just to make life easy, I'm just throwing this in at the end. The pasta's nearly cooked, and I'm just going to quickly wilt it down in here, and then I can just strain it all together. It literally just needs to dip in and out of the water. But I am also just quickly frying the bacon in a separate pan. Okay, a little bit of olive oil, onion and garlic. I'm now going to add in a couple of spoons. This is not very precise because I'm kind of guessing that much pumpkin puree. And then maybe like a tablespoon, roughly, of tomato paste. And then I'm going to add in my stock, a little bit of soy milk, a little bit of nutmeg, black pepper, salt, but not too much because the bacon pieces are quite salty. Okay, the pasta's going back in. Okay, little bit of parmesan. This looks so good. Okay, I'm trying it from the sharing pan. That's so good. It tastes completely different to how I thought it would. I think for some reason I thought it would be sweet, but it's not at all. It kind of tastes like, I don't know, tomato veggie pasta. It's really good. Let's go and eat. Hello, good morning. As you probably guessed, it's the next day, and I've actually just pulled up at Soho Farmhouse because I am meeting my friend Ella here, and then she's coming to stay for the whole weekend, which I'm going to vlog all of that, but I'm going to start a new vlog. So I'm actually just about to sit here and start the new vlog, and then I remembered that I didn't finish last night's this week's. You know what I'm trying to say. I didn't say goodnight last night, basically, and I didn't close the vlog because, as I do every time, I took my dinner upstairs and was so busy eating my dinner and watching... What did I watch last night? Oh, Twilight. Still watching Twilight. So that's what I did last night. But dinner, oh my goodness. Did I say this yesterday? Dinner last night. Oh my goodness. I don't think I said anything to you. Did I try it with you? I really can't remember. It was delicious. It was so good. I'm making everything with pumpkin in October. Pumpkin puree is my new thing. The cake was so good, or the pumpkin loaf was so good, and then dinner was so good and obviously not sweet. So I managed to prove that to myself last night, and it was so delicious. But anyway, I'm not going to sit here and talk for ages because I'm excited to start the next vlog. It's going to be a really fun weekend, but I hope that you enjoyed this week's vlog. I know it was a very, very, very chilled sort of day. I had a lovely time, but I'm really sorry if it wasn't that fun for you. But hopefully you didn't mind too much. So I hope you have the best week ever, and I cannot wait to catch up with you next weekend. Bye guys.